It's 3 in the morning. Your child is sleeping peacefully, but you're wide awake. Your mind is racing, playing movies of the future. What if she doesn't make friends at the new school? What if he fails that math test? What if all these tantrums mean I'm a bad parent and he'll grow up to be unhappy? Does this sound familiar? That constant conversation you have in your head? What if I told you it's not a weird habit or a sign of anxiety, but a powerful tool you might be using against yourself and your child? In this video, I'm going to show you how to take control of that inner voice and turn it from your worst critic into your best parenting co-pilot. Many parents make one crucial mistake with these mental conversations, a mistake that accidentally programs their child for the very future they're trying to avoid. First, let's get one thing straight. You are not broken. That inner chatter is a feature, not a bug, of your brain. Psychologists and neuroscientists are discovering that the human brain is essentially a simulation machine. Its primary job is to predict the future to keep you safe. The conversations you have in your head are your mind's way of running simulations. It's practicing for potential future events. When our ancestors were on the savannah, this was incredibly useful. What if there's a lion behind that rock? Simulating that danger kept them alive. The problem is, your brain uses the same ancient software to deal with modern parenting. It doesn't know the difference between a lion and a bad report card. So it runs a catastrophe simulation. This isn't your fault. It's your brain's deep, biological drive to protect your child. But when we don't control the simulation, it creates anxiety that helps no one. Our first step is to become an observer of our own mind. You can't change a habit you don't know you have. I want you to start noticing your catastrophe scripts. These are the recurring negative stories you tell yourself. The script might be titled, "My child will be lonely forever," and it plays every time they're shy. Or maybe it's the "We're going to end up on the streets" script that runs when you see a bad grade. For the next day, just notice. Don't judge, don't try to stop it, just label it. When you catch your mind spiraling, just think to yourself, there it is, that's the failure story. This simple act of recognition is incredibly powerful. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You're no longer lost in the story, you're the one watching it. This creates a tiny bit of space between you and the anxiety, and that space is where our work begins. You're moving from being a character in the horror movie to being the director, who can eventually yell, "Cut!" Now, let's understand why these mental movies feel so real. Your brain doesn't clearly distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. When you run a simulation of your child failing a test, your body reacts as if it's actually happening. Your heart rate might increase, your palms might get a little sweaty, you feel a genuine wave of anxiety or fear. Your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. This is a crucial piece of the puzzle. You are putting your body through a real stress response for something that has not happened and may never happen. Think about the cumulative effect of this. You run 10, 20, 50 of these negative simulations a day. You are marinating yourself, and by extension your family, in low-grade chronic stress. This is why you feel so exhausted at the end of the day, even if nothing particularly bad happened. You've been fighting imaginary lions all day long. Understanding this biological reaction is key to wanting to change it. It's not just in your head, it's in your entire body. This internal anxiety isn't a secret. It leaks out. Even if you don't say a word, your child can feel it. Your stress becomes their stress. But usually it comes out in our actions and words. Let's say your internal script is, "My son is so lazy, he's never going to finish his project." That simulation of failure is running in your head. So, what do? You might walk into his room and say, "Are you even working on that project? It's due tomorrow, you know. You can't leave things to the last minute." Your words are dripping with the anxiety from your simulation. You're not trying to help. You're trying to prevent the future you just imagined. The child doesn't hear support. They hear a prediction of their failure. They hear, "My mum doesn't believe in me." Your internal simulation just became a self-fulfilling prophecy. You created tension and resistance, making it even harder for your child to succeed. This is the mistake I mentioned. Our unmanaged mental simulations dictate our parenting in the real world. So how do we stop this cycle? The first tool is simple, and you can use it immediately. It's called Name the Story. We touched on this, but let's make it a concrete practice. The moment you feel that familiar knot of anxiety, you pause. You take one deep breath, and you give that mental movie a title, like it's a cheesy B-movie. For example, you see your kids arguing and your mind screams, "They're going to hate each other forever." Pause, breathe, and say to yourself, I'm watching the premiere of Sibling Armageddon. This isn't reality. It's a story my brain is telling me. By giving it a slightly silly name, you take away its power. You're not fighting the thought or suppressing it. You're acknowledging it, labeling it, and gently setting it aside. For example, your inner voice says, "If he doesn't eat his broccoli, his health will be ruined." You simply respond in your head, "Thank you for your concern, brain." I'm noting that we're playing the broccoli apocalypse story right now. It feels strange at first, but it is the single fastest way to break the hypnotic spell of a negative thought loop. Once you can name the story, your next step is to flip the script. Your brain is a powerful simulator, so let's give it a better movie to play. This is not about toxic positivity or ignoring real problems. It's about running a constructive simulation instead of a destructive one. If your automatic script is your child forgetting their lines in the school play and being humiliated, I want you to consciously and deliberately create a different simulation. What's another possible outcome? Maybe they nail the performance and feel incredibly proud. Imagine that. Feel the pride in your own body. Or what if they do forget a line? Simulate them taking a deep breath, remembering it, and continuing with a smile. Simulate the audience supporting them. Simulate yourself giving them a huge hug afterward and saying, "I am so proud of you for being so brave." You are using the exact same mental machinery, but you're training it to look for solutions and resilience, not just problems. You're building a mental library of positive possibilities. Let's supercharge this with a powerful language tool. It's the simple act of changing your what if. Our anxious minds are obsessed with negative what ifs. What if she gets rejected by her friends? What if he doesn't get picked for the team? We are going to consciously replace those with productive what ifs. So instead of, "What if she gets rejected?" try asking yourself, "What if this is an opportunity for her to learn how to handle disappointment, a skill she'll need for her entire life?" Instead of, "What if he doesn't make the team?" try, "What if this experience teaches him the value of practice or helps him discover another passion he's even better at?" See the shift? You move from a place of fear to a place of trust. Trust in your child's ability to handle life's challenges. This changes everything. It reframes setbacks not as failures, but as essential parts of growth. You're not just changing your thought, you're changing your entire parenting philosophy from one of prevention to one of preparation. Now let's see how this changes a real conversation. Let's use the homework example again. The old internal script: "My daughter is going to fail this class. She's not trying. I have to force her." This leads to the external conversation. "Have you done your homework? Why not? You're going to fall behind." The result: a fight. Now let's try the new method. First, you run a new internal simulation. Your new script is, "My daughter is capable, but she might be feeling overwhelmed. My job is to be her coach, not her warden." You simulate a calm, helpful conversation. Now you approach her. Because your internal state is different, your external approach changes. You say, "Hey, I know that history paper is a big one. How's it feeling? Are there any parts that feel tricky? Maybe we can brainstorm some ideas together. Do you see the difference? You're coming from a place of connection, not control. You're offering support, not judgment. This all started because you chose to run a different simulation in your own mind first. You scripted a better future, and then you acted it out. Here is an advanced technique that will build deep empathy. Use your simulation superpower to model your child's perspective. When your child is having a tantrum, our default simulation is about us. This is so embarrassing. Everyone thinks I'm a terrible mother. He's doing this to manipulate me. I want you to pause and run a different simulation. Try to genuinely imagine what it feels like to be them. Your new internal script might be, okay, what's it like to be 4 years old right now? My body feels huge and out of control. I have big feelings I don't have words for. I'm not trying to be bad. I'm overwhelmed. When you simulate their reality, your anger and embarrassment can transform into compassion. You stop seeing a manipulative monster, and you start seeing a small person struggling with big emotions. This empathetic simulation completely changes how you respond. You move from wanting to punish the behavior to wanting to help the child who is hurting. It is one of the most profound shifts a parent can make. This next tool is for you, for the moments when you feel completely lost and overwhelmed. It's the future self simulation. When you're in the heat of the moment and you're about to yell or say something you'll regret, I want you to hit the pause button in your mind. Take 1 second and ask your inner voice this question. What would the wise, calm, loving parent I want to be in 5 years do right now? Then listen. Simulate that future version of you. That future you is not flustered. That future you has perspective. They might whisper, "This moment is not a big deal. Just connect. Kneel down. Make eye contact. Offer a hug." You are using your mind's ability to time travel to borrow wisdom from your future self. It sounds strange, but it works. You are creating an internal mentor, a guide who is always available. This simulation gives you a clear, positive role model to follow, especially when your present-day self is running on empty. It's a way of parenting yourself, so you can better parent your child. Finally, I want to leave you with a thought that prevents this all from feeling overwhelming. This is not about being a perfect parent who never has a negative thought again. That's impossible. The goal is the 1% rule. Your mission is simply to be 1% better today than you were yesterday. If you have 100 negative, catastrophic thoughts today, can you catch just one? Can you name it? Can you try to flip the script on just one? That's a huge victory. If you can change just one of those internal simulations, you will change one real-world interaction with your child. And that one better interaction builds connection. Tomorrow, maybe you'll catch 2. This is a practice, like learning an instrument. You will be clumsy at first, but every time you catch a catastrophe script and choose a more constructive one, you are rewiring your brain. You are building a new mental habit, one that serves you and your child, one thought at a time. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. This is the real work of parenting. So let's bring it all together. That voice in your head, that constant stream of chatter, is not your enemy. It's one of the most powerful tools you own. It's your brain's natural built-in simulator. For too long, you may have been letting it run on a default setting of fear and anxiety. But now you know you can take the director's chair. You've learned how to spot the destructive stories, how to flip the script, and how to use this tool to build empathy and connection. Remember, the fact that you worry so much is a testament to how much you love your child. You are a good parent. You have everything you need to be a great one. You've got this. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss our next one. And now I want to ask you a question for the comments. What is one negative story your mind loves to tell you about parenting? Share it below. You'll be amazed how many of us are watching the same movie.